So is Tesla stock about to skyrocket, or has it had a good enough performance for 2023 and it's about to dip? What's going on, guys? It's Ricky here with TechBot Solutions, and here are 3 things that you need to know to prepare for Tesla's quarterly earning reports tomorrow on July 19th. So for those that are unaware, Tesla stock reports earnings tomorrow after the stock market closes. So what this means is after the market closes, they're going to report their quarterly earnings, which should be the initial reaction to the actual stock price itself, and then they have their earnings call. This is where the executives will come on the line and talk about future forecast and guidance for the overall company, and this is known as the second catalyst. I wanted to share a video that I found to be quite interesting from Yahoo Finance, and I hope, again, that you learned something new, and if you do, please consider dropping a thumbs up and subscribing if you feel like we earned it. I do want to remind you, tomorrow I will be live streaming Tesla quarterly earnings, so if you haven't done so already, just another reason for you guys to subscribe. Let's go ahead and jump right into my screen, and you guys can see this video from Yahoo Finance.
Gearing up for second quarter earnings tomorrow after the bell, the stock skyrocketing more than 55% in the last 3 months. Here with the top things to watch, we want to bring in Yahoo Finance's Pras Subramanian. Pras, you got your eye on 3 things that we need to be looking for in this report tomorrow. What are they?
Yeah, so 3 things I'm watching here, and analysts, of course, is first off, gross margin trough, the Cybertruck, and also expansion of the factory. So let's start off with the margin trough here. So a lot of analysts believe that this quarter might be the low point in terms of Tesla's margin, which has been the envy of the industry. They hit around at 19% automotive gross margin last quarter. So people expected to dip again in Q2, but then possibly rock.
So the reason that he is talking about people's expectation or analysts' expectation of the market dipping is because a lot of you guys have recently heard that Tesla has undergone a lot of price cuts, meaning that they've reduced their prices of their vehicles to increase demand in fear of the potential recession, but also with all the incentives and rebates and tax credits from EV companies or from the government for EV vehicles. This has been something that has created more demand. As many of you guys have heard, in just the past couple of weeks, Tesla reported the most number of vehicles ever delivered in any quarter, and that is great, but again, that is at a lower price. So this is what he's talking about, a trough, where yes, they sold more vehicles, but at a lower price point, so therefore their overall net profit or take-home profit is again expected to be lower. So
later in the year, hopefully for investors, they'll hear whether Tesla indicates that is the case. Secondly, the Cybertruck. So over the weekend, we saw that Tesla tweeted out a picture of that Cybertruck, and that first one produced out of the Giga Austin facility. That's a big deal because Tesla was sort of 2 years late in bringing that truck on. But right now, it seems like they are actually starting to produce in low quantities. Let's see what they say in the earnings statement and possibly in the call after. Is this just a pre-verification build? Is this truck actually going to be delivered to a customer? We'll see about that.
So again, I think that brings up a great point. And I think this is why, in my opinion, earning calls are often more valuable or sometimes even more important than the actual quarterly earnings report. Earning reports that are being reported are from the previous quarter. Investors and people that are currently invested want to know if they want to continue to be invested in that company, and based off of these executives, this forecast will kind of determine if it creates more demand, more money being flown into that stock, or if that's something that investors don't agree with whatever it is that is said, and therefore they pull out their money, therefore causing more selling pressure.
And finally, expansion, right? So Tesla here, they probably have around 2.5 million of vehicle capacity right now. They want to hit 20 million by the end of the decade. That's going to mean more factories. So Tesla's been talking recently. We've seen them in France and India talking about expansion there, or just doing some sort of operational activity there. And then also the journal reported yesterday that Tesla wants to expand Giga Berlin by double. It's increased that capacity by double. So we'll hopefully hear more about their long-term plans on how they plan to build up to 20 million vehicles by the end of the decade.
So again, and I've already watched this video, and they just go and try to elaborate a little bit more on the Tesla Cybertruck, so it wasn't too important. One of the things that I want to make sure that I point out for those that are not aware of this already is what is current expectation for the quarterly earning reports, and this is the overall forecast where they expect it to be at 80 cents per share and the overall sales to be at $24.2 billion. Let me make this very clear. So as it reports tomorrow, one thing that I want to make sure that you all understand is that when a company reports earnings, and even if it beats expectation, that does not guarantee that the stock price will need to go up. One thing that you have to take into consideration is that Tesla, just this year, let me go ahead and show you very quickly. Tesla stock price itself, just this year, has gone from lows of 101 to overall highs of, as of right now, right, the highs that we made today, of 184%. So yes, we have seen times where earnings report can come out. It can come out better than expected, and it's expected to skyrocket. But based off of what might be said on that guidance call, can actually cause the stocks to sell off itself. So again, something to take or keep in mind as not just Tesla, but multiple different companies begin to report earnings. You cannot be surprised if there's a quick change of direction. Just because it beat earnings, it doesn't mean that its overall forecast or future guidance is going to be positive. And this is something that we experienced in 2022 when a lot of companies were giving future guidance or future expectations that were lower than expected. And one of the last things that I want to make sure that you guys are all aware of is that, again, for those that do not know about this, after they report their quarterly earnings, they're going to be having their investor relations or their overall earnings call. This is something that you can tune into. I'm not going to be live streaming the earnings call, but I will be live streaming the earnings report. I would love for you to tune on in, especially if you're an absolute beginner and you've never watched a stock report earnings and how the actual stock price reacts itself. It's really exciting, right? Especially if you've never experienced it before. Just sit back, relax, and try to take it all in. And if you have any questions, you're always going to be able to ask me during that live stream that is free. It will be here on YouTube. And all I literally ask you to do is to subscribe and make sure you drop a thumbs up if that's not too much to ask. I really do appreciate you guys' time. I hope that this video can better prepare you for tomorrow's quarterly earnings reports for Tesla. And if you ever have any questions, please feel free to send me a direct message via Instagram or via Discord. And those are linked all down in the description. I do want to remind you that I do trade live every single morning at market open. And if you want to watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow, that's the second link in the description down below, and I'll see you tomorrow at market open for our live trading session. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.